Hey everybody's Funny here once again. Hope you're doing well. Today I'm rambling about the Elektron Syntakt. It sounds like this. Okay, let's get the quick housekeeping out of the way first. I'm not affiliated with Elektron, obviously. I am borrowing this from someone who has once again asked me not to name them, but I'm still going to thank them, so thank you for lending this to me. I really appreciate it. But with that being said, it's not journalism. I'm not here to present it to you, assess it for you, sell it to you, anything like that. I just want to talk with my thoughts, my opinions, my ramblings, my video blog I'm trying to make of sorts with you here today. And when it comes to the Syntakt, it's been a minute for me because I owned it, I sold it, I owned it, I sold it, and then I owned it and sold it a third time, and now I'm borrowing it again. The Elektron... I don't want to say magnetism, but like it's tough. Getting into modular really gave me like an insane appreciation for just how much you can do on board, but that insane amount of power can drag you into the other Elektron boxes, and I feel like if there's anything I can talk about today that is of interesting, because there's going to be better demos, there's going to be better tutorials, and obviously I'm not trying to make either, but what I can present is sort of my insight on it and my thoughts. Just synced modulation, the sheer amount of tracks, the routing options, the performance tools, all of that in one box is something that I love, but I never really appreciated it until I got into modular, and then like just every track having these insane amounts of modulation destinations without the need for cables, without the need for anything. I love modular. I don't need to tell you that, obviously, if you're here, but like it wasn't until I did that I came back to the Elektron boxes and I was like, wow, they are insanely deep for what they are. However, like I was just trying to get to was like, they always are so close to being complete, and then there's just stuff that is left out that drives not only myself but many other people insane, and we'll leave it up to you to decide if they do that intentionally or not, but there's some things that are just like, man, like how the Syntakt could not have an arpeggiator, how the digitone could not have a compressor, how these little pieces are just missing from everything. Like the digitone 2, to me, I own it, I love it. It's so close to being the complete ultimate Elektron box. The workflow is amazing. I love it. But there's no end of chain compression, the thing that made the analog rhythm great, and I know that's not on here either. It's just like little things are always left out, right? So buy the whole range, take out a mortgage, right? You can have all the the digitone, the digitact, the Syntakt, the Octatrack, the everything, right? If Elektron and I, if I could make a conjecture, I believe at some point they probably will make the ultimate box, like something in the size of the analog rhythm, and it just did everything. It had FM synthesis, it had the wavetables, it had the sampling, it had the analog effects, it had the analog voices. I bet when they run out of ideas, it's going to happen, but they may never run out of ideas. So anyway, I think we should go through the Syntakt together with creating a new project. So, manage projects? No. Load project. Create new. Thump in 140. No. I do like it, but I do not want to save anything I just did for this demo. I did that. If you are a frequent viewer of the channel, I made that track as part of the Earth Modular Society. I performed that one live, and I really liked it. There's a couple other things we got to talk about here with like the E25, this version of it, and speculations on if a if a Syntakt 2 is coming or not. And I'm curious to hear all your thoughts on all of that. But I just want to say, when it comes to the E25, it is very hard to film on. That doesn't matter, or that shouldn't matter to the end user, but for this video I had to turn off these lights because they make it impossible to see. So we just have the one overhead light. We're trying, right? It's a reflective board. It is a fingerprint magnet. I watched that it was NopCon or some sort of similar event like that, where Ricky Tinez was saying that it's not a fingerprint magnet. They had some coating to prevent it from doing so. It is a fingerprint magnet. I'm sorry. Just like stainless steel is. It's not as bad as like a dishwasher or something, but it's still like, it's stainless steel. It attracts fingerprints. I will say on the E25 front, which, you know, this is just what I happen to have. I can't believe they did that with the Digitone and the Digitakt, given that there was Model 2s like, what, 3 months around the corner, maybe more? That just seems like so brutal to those customers, right? Like, they literally like put out the shiny thing to lure in the customers to pick it up before the successor would come out around the corner. And I just feel like, I don't know, that's like, if I could, I've been sort of trying to work out a way in my head to compare Elektron to Apple in some ways, in the leaving out the, like, being really good quality, but being really expensive, as opposed to like the Roland or something else. But like the putting out this limited edition, well, there's no Syntakt 2 yet, but, you know, again, speculations around the corner for y'all. The putting out the retro edition Digitakt and Digitone ones right before the release of the second one, that's like something Apple wouldn't even do. That's just heinous. So yeah. And I know maybe if you're picking up something like a retro version of the Syntakt, maybe they don't have a lot of sympathy for you, but maybe I do. And I feel sympathy for the person who lent this to me. And there isn't even a Syntakt 2 yet, but I mean, maybe there was one on the way. So let's talk about the machines. You were here, you already know, but we're still going to go through it anyway. We have the 8 FM engines from the model. Let's turn this up, sorry. Sorry, I got reverb on there too. 8 FM engines from the model cycles, which I loved. I did a video on model cycles actually too, and I really thought that was underrated. I hope some of these engines can actually come into the Digitone 2, but again, it's, you know, you wouldn't want to do anything to decrease the sales of you know, having the million boxes. But right now, this in its default state, there's FM kicks. I love FM kicks to death. FM snare, FM clap, FM alloy, which is like a metallic sound, which is good for hats and whatnot. Then you have your tone, which is wavetable. Your chord, which is another wavetable. I believe these made it onto the Digitone 2, but correct me if I'm wrong. Then there's this sort of chiptune-y bits and toys, and then the 4 analog synths, which have different machines, but we'll get into that in a second. In the default mode, it is bass drum, snare, syn dual VCO, which sounds really freaking good. Then this metallic analog ride, and to switch the machines. In my Digitone 2 video, I was talking about this, where there is a workflow thing of holding function, hitting machine. It's easy to swap them. That I wish they had this instead of the function and scrolling through the presets thing. I wish they had that on the Digitone 2, but let's go through here. So we have BD Modern, and I think these are actually limited in some ways based on the actual track number you're on. No, maybe not. So this, and the digital side, you have digital ones with BD Modern, snare drum basic, snare drum vintage, which is like more analog-y, PC Carbon, clap vintage, clap alloy, syn bits. This has a bunch of weird reverb on it on default. I don't know why that is. Syn chord, syn tone. Ooh, that sounds really nice. Some toy, swarm. Ooh. Y'all know I'm a sucker for the swarms, the super saws, let's just do it. And this is actually quite similar to the Digitone 2. Yeah, let's just make let's make a melody on here quick. So first thing, tap tempo you can do, but let's just set a tempo. I would like to do a little faster. Let's go up to, 140 BPM for fun. What will probably be on the Digitone or on the Syntakt 2 will be more steps, but out of the box we can get up to 64 steps. So I always just crank it out. We'll get into there. And then there's our keyboard setup. So we hold function, hit track. Keyboard mode on. Where's the settings? There we go. So chromatic. But then we can get into scaled mode, so Ionian. But what you've probably seen in every other video is the keyboard folding, which gives you range across octaves, which is nice. This feels a little high to me, so I'll go down an octave. Monophonic though, which is just fine. This sounds huge. But you can also transpose it if you want. And I like this because I can like finger drum in my melodies. I know that's like, how do you say, very, I don't know, maybe embarrassing is the word, but very not deep, very lacking in music theory knowledge. But I love how easy it is to just punch stuff in rhythmically using this. So speaking of which, let's get out of here for a moment actually and go to throw in a kick track. I'm just going to do 4 on the floor across this so that I can hear. In absence of a metronome, we're just going to donk this out. And I'll also quickly show you the presets mode if I can remember how, because it's different. Yeah, here we go. It's not different. Ignore that. Auditioning them by hitting yes. Thump, we're thumping. Okay. Get out of here, get back to my, nope. Track 1? Yes, okay. This sounds very synth-wavy. Let's, so I like to get some sequence going. That's just my workflow thing, is just get some sequence going and then do the sound design. And I realize that that's probably a little backwards because your sequence is going to kind of, my envelope is really long here, so that's going to influence my sound. But I don't know, limitations are powerful, man. Let's go. So live record, we're going to hold record, hit play. 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. There is a way to do pre-roll. Do I know how to do it? Absolutely not. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. See how these are illuminating on the right side? You'll notice another thing as well. I hold record, hit play. I'm in quantized mode because I hit it a second time. That's just another little workflow doodad. We hit play. And let's do a little sound design here. I like the sub octaves for sure. That's also a great thing on the Digitone. Sounds fatter with 2. Overdrive it. Decay. I want to do lots of detune animation. Bring in some filter. Let's just do high pass. Resonance control to the right of it. And hey, this is where I learned that trick that I used in the Carbon video. Just applying our envelope to the filter to open it up a little bit. It's probably a little too much resonance, but there's a couple different filter modes here, not as many as on the Digitone 2, but it sounds nice. Now, I wanted to do one big complaint here, though. No keyboard tracking on here, which is something that's on the Digitone too. And again, just like, how could they miss that? Anyway. Did we miss my first note? Nope. Oh no, maybe I did. Okay, so this is a good opportunity to leave the keyboard mode and get into step mode. So there is a step. No. Okay, yeah, there's a step on the last one and not the first one. So we'll get in the first one, enter it manually. If I go over to trig, I can set the note, D sharp. This sounds a little more minor, which is nice. We're making synthwave today, why not? Yeah. And then let's get into the effects, reverb, a little bit of delay. Wish there was chorus. Again, you gotta can't be cutting out sales of the Digitone, right? And I know there's definitely a way to use an LFO to modulate the delay at such a fast rate that it'd be like do a slapback delay, modulate the pitch. There's a way. There's always a way, which is all the beauty of there's. You know what? If there ever was a representation of like the Elektron ecosystem, it's that like there's probably like they're so deep that there's probably a way to do it yourself, but they're also loop you into the ecosystem so much that they're also going to leave things out debatably, intentionally or not. So let's bring in some more drum tracks. And I like live recording. That's the other thing I really like about Elektron Box. It's always really easy to live record because it's so much easier to finger drum, right? So let's do some snares. And I've entered that other track by mistake. We'll go to track 1, hit record, get rid of that trig. Yeah. Go to track 2. To turn down this track 1 a little bit because the overdrive's probably blasting it. And then LFOs to give you an idea of that workflow. We'll go to our kick track, and I want to modulate my decays, so our destination will be the decay time. Hit yes, bring in some depth. Make it more subtle. Maybe we'll make a random wave, actually. Someday, if they can make this into an oscilloscope, then that would be so cool. I would love to see that, to actually see where your voltage is adjusting, but not yet anyway. So that's modulating our decays a bit. Turn our keyboard back on, and maybe I'll do a little bass line on here. I'll just go down a couple octaves by pressing the down button. Record this live. I really hate how this sounds, but we're going to mute some other stuff just so I can focus on it. At my kick 2, we'll just go select that new analog dual VCO, and we're going to go to machine. This is the SID station. That sounds sick. Definitely need to get some filter going. I want to get some more square wave action going here. Again, there's 2 VCOs, so you don't select them individually. It just has this double thing. So let's try and find one that's a square and a sine. just so it doesn't conflict with my super saw quite as much. Something that's a little harmonically more dull, to be honest. It's also ring mod, FM there. FM and ring mod. It gets crazy. Maybe we want the other synth machine. Let's do dual VCO? No. Yes, this was raw. Let's do... It's the Gordon Ramsay machine. Let's go to sine, square, a little bit of noise. Nice. Too much noise though. Bring in a little bit of envelope. More filter. Bring my other tracks. And like, as many people have said before, it's just like very locked into the grid, very techno. It's great for that, right? I don't need to tell you that one. However, I want to explore one other thing for sure. Let's grab a FM track. I'm in keyboard mode, so I'm not selecting track. Let's make it the 5th track. And we're going to change our machine to be alloy. Double tap stop if you want to do an emergency stop if something's hung up, which seems to happen a lot. Maybe my decay is just way too long somewhere. Anyway, what we wanted to do was show you how to do a preset. So function and roll this. I can hold function and press left to filter, and I want to pick out a hat. I really like hats that sizzle a lot. I feel like maybe this is a narrow-minded thing, but like the best hat is the most sizzly hat. Although that kind of sounds fun. There's a lot of sizzle. Let's bring the decay down though. I won't go through every machine because it's been done many times before and there's so much depth, and yeah, we won't do that today. But I do want to go over the Euclidean mode, and that is if we can get to it. So we go to trigs, we go to Euclidean on this, so it's off. It's on the second trigger page. We turn Euclidean on. Let's mute everything else but our hats. This is pulse generation. There's 8 pulses on the first one. The second one, we'll do a couple more. Then there's a Boolean operator. I am the last person who should tell you about the science of Euclidean, but just know there's sub. I know and. I don't know or. Sorry, Zor. Or I know. You want some rotation. You can only have so much fun, right? Yeah, so now we've got this nice syncopated hats going, right? Bring in our other tracks. Kick. Bring down this level a bit because it can be a little harsh. Maybe we'll filter it too for that reason. Yeah. Techno time. Again, I wish the key tracking you can hear a little bit of, but anyway, I do like how this sounds, but there's a little bit with those lower notes it's missing, right? Bring in our saw. Some reverb to our snare. Maybe some delay to our hat as well. An effects track. So there's the analog drive here. Let's route it to that. If we do function, FX, routing. I don't want to do it to everything because this is going to sound really muddy, but again, I wish that compressor was on here, but that's okay. Master delay and reverb. 2 LFOs for this track too, really cool. Euclidean for the effects track. Get out of effects. Here, let's drive everybody. It's so blown out. I quite like it. Wrote the effects into the end of chain stuff. Actually, I like just drive the kick. What if we make it pump with an alpha? Yeah, drive. Yeah. No song mode today, sorry y'all. Anyway, this is... whenever people ask me what modules they should pick up if they want to get into modular, I always say get a Elektron box, because it might seem like a big bill up front for, you know, $1,000 for one of them, but like it is insanely powerful. This can do more than an entire modular system, right? If this workflow suits you, and I really like it, then it's hard to beat. Yeah. There's some great sounds. There's some things that are missing. That's the Elektron way. And time will tell if we actually get another Syntakt 2 or not. And if it does, what do you think is going to be in there? I think we're going to get an arpeggiator and twice the steps and a price increase. So, all right. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tafony. Take care. Talk to you soon.